Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, I'm finally getting around to answering your guys' dimple piercing questions. But first, I apologize if the lighting's weird. I recently redid this whole room setup, so I'm trying to still figure out lighting, and I apologize for background, my messy ass makeup storage. But yeah, also I want to say, please keep in mind I am not a professional piercer, so any advice that I can give you and will give you is just strictly on my own experience. So please don't ask me in the future if, I can tell you what's wrong with your piercing. All I can tell you is if I've had anything like that happen or my piercing has done that and that kind of thing. So yeah, just please keep in mind I'm not a professional piercer and I have not once ever claimed to be. So this is just going to be my unprofessional advice and opinion. Alright, so I asked on Instagram and on YouTube, which, if you guys had any questions. So we'll start with the Instagram ones. Alright, first question, did yours ever bleed? Do you mean like when I got them pierced? I think they bled a little bit, but it wasn't anything crazy, dripping down my face. And I've woken up a few times with blood crusties around them because I think probably whenever I was sleeping they got caught on something and snagged. But I mean, other than that, I don't think they really bled. Oh, except for when I was draining bumps, then they did bleed a little bit, but I've never had them just randomly bleed. Did you ever have hardness around your piercing that you can feel from the inside of your mouth, or just a lump that you can feel from the inside only? I've only had hardness on the outside of my cheek piercing, but other than that, I haven't. On the inside, it just is smooth and soft, just like my cheek tissue. When was the first time you took them out? The first time I took them out, I don't remember specifically how old they were or date or anything like that, but I know for a fact that they were well over a year old. And the reason why I took them out was because I was draining the bump on this side, and this bump was like a bump from hell. It was not fucking drain, so I had to take the bar out and drain it that way, which that worked way better. But I wouldn't recommend taking out the bars and leaving them out for any real period of time. I probably had mine out for 3 minutes, if that, just in case. I don't know how fast the cheek tissue will close up, but better safe than sorry. Alright, next. Alright, so this is the last Instagram question. How do you make the bumps go away fast? Because I have some and it's hard for them to go away. It really depends on the type of bump that you're talking about. For me, the bumps that I get, I only get it on this side for whatever reason, and I only get it a few times a month, not a few times a month, wow, once every few months, and that bump is just filled with fluid, so I just have to drain it. But I don't know what kind of bump yours get, so you might just want to talk to your piercer about that. Alright, so that was it for Instagram, so let's move on to YouTube. Alright, first question. I went to get my dimples pierced, and I've had 21 piercings before: lip, ear, tongue, nose, nipple, etc. How does this piercing compare to, say, a lip piercing? Thanks. Alright, well, I feel like I can answer this one, but first let me just say, pain is different for everyone. My piercings didn't really hurt me that much, but, if you got yours done, they could hurt you. So, I mean, it's just all a matter of, your pain tolerance. But I obviously do have my lip pierced, so I can compare. I got my lip pierced before I got my cheeks pierced, and my lip hurt. It wasn't my most painful piercing, but it was definitely one of the more painful ones that I have, and it hurt a lot. My lip was swollen, I couldn't eat, it was just, it hurt so bad, and it bled. It bled more than my cheek piercing, which is kind of weird. So I was nervous to get my cheeks pierced, because I thought they were really, really gonna hurt, and I thought they would hurt even worse than my lip did because it was thicker tissue. My cheeks were just easy. I mean, I almost couldn't even tell that he had pierced the first one. It just, to me, they hurt way fucking less than my lip piercing. So, like I said, it's really just what your body can handle. Alright, so moving on. I know for certain jobs that accept them and some don't. So how did it work out for you at your job at the time if you had one? Was it easy to disguise? I see that you had small ones. Alright, so for those of you who don't know, I'm not sure if I really ever talked about it on my channel before, I'm a stay-at-home girlfriend, and that was something that me and my boyfriend decided when we moved in together. I was already done with college. If you're wondering about that, I do have a video about that, which if I can remember, I'll leave it linked down below, but if not, sorry. But yeah, I was done with college, and my boyfriend and I just decided it would be better if I was a stay-at-home girlfriend and I could take care of the house, and our aging cat, and just, you know, that kind of thing. So for me, I can't really answer that first question because stay-at-home girlfriend, but YouTube is my job now, so they worked well for my job. Okay, the next part, was it easy to disguise? I've never really had to worry about disguising them, but I would say if you had to, for, you know, whatever reason, what I would do is probably get like a clear bar or like clear like Bioflex, and make sure the bars are long enough, but not like long where they're gonna like stick out of your face, but just like long enough to just rest right up against the opening, and I just wouldn't have any tops in, so it would just be like a clear bar, if that makes sense. So kind of like a retainer, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Alright, next question. What do you do when your cheek piercings act up, like swell or anything? Any special routine? I just baby them now. Really, the only one that acts up is this one, and that's when it gets a bump on it. But for those of you who don't follow me on Snapchat, and didn't watch my video where I was switching the bars, this one did decide to act up. I don't know, for whatever reason, it decided that I needed a longer bar in there. So that one did act up, and it was like swollen and everything like that. I used to, whenever they, like, this one would get bumps and everything like that, I used to, like, put ice on it and all that kind of stuff, but, I mean, I don't really do that now. I just clean them with my piercing cleaning solution, and I just, like, baby them, and try to avoid, like, putting like, makeup all over them, like, just that kind of stuff. I just like to keep them clean, and, you know, yeah. Alright, so that is it for the questions and answers. Do not forget that I'm still doing my nipple piercing Q&A, so I still have that video up and my Instagram post about that up. And I will be answering those questions Friday. So I'm going to leave that video up for a few more days before I answer all your questions. So if you do have any questions regarding nipple piercings, then feel free to go ask on that video. But yeah, that's it for the video. I love you all. Thank you so much. And hopefully you guys will check out my other videos.